I remember talking about this particular subject at a conference in Dubai many years ago, and I had 40 people booked on my workshop, and about 120 turned up into the room because they realised, hang on, moving mindsets is something they want to look at. Okay, so before we start, this is a 45-minute. It's very fast. Nice to see you, Mark. We're going to cover moving mindsets from problems to solutions today. Then you'll go into a breakout room just for a few minutes, normally about 10 minutes, just to have a chat. If you can put yourself, if you're not already in mute, if you can just put yourself on mute, that's lovely. And then gives you a chance to talk to each other, talk a little bit about what we're covering. And then we come back, we just share a little bit, and I'll let you know about the complimentary strategy session that I offer. If you're looking to develop your business, or you're looking to find out more about how I can coach you, or the NLP training, we do that in a strategy session away from here. But this is all about giving you as much value as possible. So has anyone got anything they want to share before we start? You can maybe put in the chat why you're here, what you're looking for, and also maybe where you're from, because I know we've got people from all over the world, which is fantastic. Okay, so let me just share the screen. And today we're moving, this is moving mindsets from problems to solutions. And Annette, could you just let, Annette's supporting me today. Can you just let anyone in that comes in? That's brilliant. Okay, so one of the things we've got to look at before we're working with this is problems seem to be part of our everyday world. And we're going to be asking a little bit, what is a problem? But before I ask that, I want you to write down, I talk about this all the time, those of you who know me, but I want you to write down, your brain is compelled to respond to anything you ask it. Your brain is compelled to respond to anything you ask it. Now, one of the things we cover in this lunchtime, this is business. This is NLP for business. This is for people. I know we've got some people here who are all NLP trained, but what this is about is sharing the NLP tools and techniques that can be used for business and coaching. NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. And NLP, according to me, is the methodology of how we create behavior. It's a way of understanding behavior. And the behavior is already there, but NLP tools and techniques give you like the codes, or they give you the strategies, or they give you the way of breaking down behavior with people. And it's also a way of using language to influence behavior. So this is a real example of what we're covering here with language influencing behavior. Make sure you've got pens and papers to write down. You'll get a copy of the recording, but there's no notes. We don't send any handouts or anything with this. So make sure you take some notes. So problems seem to be part of everyday work. The more resilient employees find great satisfaction from tackling new challenges and overcoming adversity. Others find it difficult to overcome. Problems are things to overcome. Dealing with challenges effectively makes the difference between highly engaged and satisfied employee and an employee seeking another job. One of the big problems we have in business is employee engagement. And employee engagement drops dramatically when we have managers and leaders who are telling people what to do. I've used this technique probably for about 25 years. And in that time, I've worked with a few organizations where the culture has actually changed over a period of time, just by teaching this technique to senior managers and allowing it to cascade down. Because remember, people in business, managers and leaders, we tend to learn how to manage and lead through other managers and leaders. We model the behavior of the people that have led us. So once a manager starts using this technique, they tend to find the people they're leading start to use this technique as well. This is a technique that helps people start to take personal responsibility for achieving their outcomes, and also to start to feel that they own the solution a lot more. Really simple, really quick, but so powerful and so highly effective. So different people perceive situations in different ways, and what can seem really easy for one person can be a big problem for another one else. Focusing on problems keeps energy low, it's contagious, it reduces motivation, productivity, and performance. We know that. Oh, everything's a problem. Focusing on solutions keeps your energy high. High energy is contagious, creating a can-do attitude that increases motivation, productivity, and performance. The more high energy people you have in your company, the more you can create the attitude and behavior to overcome challenges. So what does the word problem mean? When you go to the Oxford Dictionary, now, first of all, from a neuro-linguistic programming point of view, can we go to www.problem.com and buy 5 kilos? No. Can you take a problem and put it in a wheelbarrow? It depends what the problem is. You might be able to with some problems, but in general, when we're talking about problems, it's what we call in NLP a nominalization, which is a word that we are using as a noun that should be a verb or an action. What it means is that it's not tangible. So the word problem is a very subjective word. When we go to the Oxford Dictionary and look up the word problem, it's a matter or situation regarding an unwelcome or harmful and needing to be dealt with or overcome. Now, when we look at other words for problems, complication, trouble, dilemma, I'm not going to read them all through. Now, notice what happens when you read through these words. Are you getting a different reaction from each one? Yeah, because every single word will give us a different reaction. So these words describe a lot of different situations, and each of these situations, people respond differently depending on how they think about the situation. What tends to happen a lot in business is someone says, I have a problem. Okay, what's your problem? Where has the focus gone? Completely onto the problem. And especially when someone comes in a real problem state and the manager matches the problem state, you don't even have to open your mouth. You can just visit. If someone comes and goes, in fact, Annette, could you do this? Because I know Annette's cool at doing this one. We have done this many times. Annette, come to me with a, just tell me you've got a problem.
I have a real problem, Fiona.
Okay, what's your problem, Annette? See what happened? I went to the same physiology and I went to the same voice tone. You've just locked that person. Now, all of a sudden, the problem has become really real. Okay, come to the next bit in a moment, Annette, but thank you for that. So it's understanding that how you react to someone saying, oh, I've got a problem, can keep it very, very real for them, or we can change it. Before you can help someone respond to what they perceive as a problem, you have to help them move out of thinking of this as a problem and reframe them to thinking about this as a situation that can potentially be changed. Our brains are compelled to answer any question we ask it. I cannot say this often enough. Once you really believe this, you start to understand all behavior comes from a thought. Asking good questions will get great results, as simple as that. What I do with the leadership training we do, the NLP-based leadership training and the NLP Business Practitioner and business coaching that I deliver, I pride myself in making these techniques as simple as possible. All you're doing with this technique is giving someone choice and helping someone use their brain to start to think about something that they were stuck in a different way. That's all you're doing with this, but it's huge. So what I'd like you to, in fact, I'd like you all just to do this for yourself rather than me talking through the slide. I want you to, if you've got a piece of paper, hopefully you've got a piece of paper or you can type or whatever. I want you to think of something that's a problem and write out 4 reasons as to why it's a problem. So you're saying to your brain, I've got this, and this is a problem because. And notice how focused you are on that problem. No more than 4. Some of you could write 20. We don't have time for that. I don't want 20. We just want 4. Now, what I am doing here is I'm teaching you how this technique works. This first part you don't do with other people. This first part is only for you to do yourself to understand how this technique works. Okay? So has everyone got 3 or 4 things? Put your hand up. Yeah. Or give me a nod or whatever. You've all got 3 or 4 things of why it's a problem? Yes? Okay, so this time, thank you, Mark. Yeah. This time, you're going to ask yourself, what has to happen to resolve this situation? And write down 5 possible solutions. So what has to happen? Now, just hold on a minute before you answer that. This is a very specific question. I am not asking you, what do you have to do to resolve that situation? I am asking what has to happen or what needs to happen. So by saying what has to happen or what needs to happen, you're opening up the possible solutions. If someone says to you, what do you have to do? You're the only person that can provide the solution. The minute you move to what has to happen or what needs to happen, you're opening up possible solutions. It could be, and one of the solutions could be, I don't need to do anything about it. That could be one possible solution. So write down 5 possible solutions. And again, just give me a wee nod or a wee thumbs up when you've got at least 5 possible solutions. You might have 6, you might have 7. You might have many more starting to jump into your brain. Okay. How are we doing? Yeah, thank you. Thanks. Thanks, Priya. Okay. Has everyone got more solutions than they had reasons for the problem? Yeah. All you have done there is instead, just by the use of language, use of that question, what has to happen or what needs to happen to resolve this, you're opening up, instead of the brain being focused on being stuck in a perceived problem, the brain suddenly starts searching to look at all possible solutions. Okay. So Annette, can I just do this with you for a couple of seconds? Okay. So what we're doing with Annette here, in fact, I'll just spotlight you very quickly. So Annette, come to me with a problem. Okay.
Fiona, I've got a terrible problem.
Okay. So what's your situation, Annette?
Things are not working out so well with the team, and I really don't know what to do with them.
Okay, so what needs to happen to help things work out better for the team?
I think I just need to get better communication amongst them, because they're just not communicating well. And I think there's a lot of sort of angst going on and anxiety about the changes that are happening in the company.
Okay, so who's not communicating well with whom?
It's the different team members. They're not, there's particularly 2 that are not communicating, and it's really having a ripple effect across the team.
Okay, so what else has to happen?
I think that I need to actually communicate something different to them around how we share things, perhaps put a new communication process in of some sort, and also just to talk to the individuals on an individual basis on the team, just to make sure that what are their individual issues, and maybe it's not how I'm actually perceiving it.
Okay, so which do you think you want to choose out of these 2? Which would be the best one to get started with?
I think what I'll do, I think I want to actually just make sure that everybody, how they're thinking. I'm gonna just make a little one-to-one with each person and just get their take on the situation of how they think the team's working at the moment. Okay. Start engaging with them and getting their views.
Okay, brilliant. Let me know how you get on.
I will.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thanks, Annette, for that. So what did you get there? What did you see there? What are some of the things you saw? What happened with, what did Annette start to do? If you want to come on, you can come on to microphone to share.
She had a list of different things she was going to do with her team, ideas.
Yeah, she started to come up with ideas. And those of you who know about eye access cues and transderivational searches, when the brain is actually searching from information using eye access, we search visually up, auditory side to side, and if we're looking down, we're in feelings. She went into a searching mode with her brain. So she was searching for solutions. And I didn't ask for one solution, I asked for 2 solutions, 2 possible solutions. And then I asked her to choose which one she wants to do. How long did that take?
Literally seconds, I think.
Yeah. Well, it took that particular thing took a couple of minutes. Okay, it's a couple of minutes to do. So can you see? And what did you notice? What did I start off with? I didn't say the first time we did
You talked about situation.
I
You
spoke
talked
about,
the
yeah.
situation.
I changed the word problem to situation. So when Annette came to me that first time and went, oh, I've got a problem, and I went, oh, what's your problem, Annette? Okay. I changed I stayed neutral. Did you see how dropped Annette's state was at the beginning? I stayed neutral. Okay, so what's the situation? She told me the situation, and she was still in a problem state when she was telling me about it. And then when I asked, okay, what needs to happen? So it's very curious, it's very light, it's very matter of fact. That's the importance for using voice tone here. It's very matter of fact. And as Annette started to come up with more ways of doing things, did you see her state starting to change? And she went from being low state to a higher state. Now, Annette and I have done this many times before, but that doesn't make any difference, because even if we pick someone, you're going to go into the breakout rooms in a moment, and you're going to ask maybe 1 or 2 people, if you've got time, to take someone through that in a couple of minutes, just to start to see what happens when people change their state. It's absolutely huge. So there's a few things happening there. One, we change, and you take a note of this, we change the problems to situation. Okay, so what's the situation? We use a very matter-of-fact voice tone. We make sure we're keeping our body posture. We're not matching that problem state, because even just by matching the problem state, by me dropping my body to the side and then dropping my voice, it's a problem. We're not agreeing with the problem. We're not agreeing that it's a problem. We're just making a statement. Okay, what's the situation? And then what needs to happen? And sometimes I just say what has to happen. I'll say what needs to happen, what has to happen. Now, those of you who know about NLP training, the need and has are modal operators. These are words that help people get motivated, help people to move. And the reason, as I said before, what needs to happen, what has to happen, and if someone then comes to me and said, I don't know what to do, I would actually say to them in business, it doesn't have to just be you. What needs to happen? What do you need? What needs to happen to get this resolved? I need to talk to someone, or I need to get their buy-in, or I need to do something else. So instead of being stuck in this situation, this terrible problem where you can't see a way out of it, and it's only you that's trying to solve it, this opens up the brain, and it opens up the possibilities. Cool technique. I have no idea where I developed this from, but I know I've been using this for about 28 years. And it's just, I think this may have come at some point from my hypnotherapy training, but it's incredible how quickly people can change that. So let's just get back into the screen, and then we'll see if there's any comments at all before we go into the breakout rooms. So the reason I said write down the three reasons as to why something is a problem. When you're using this technique, you don't say to people, okay, so what are the 3 reasons you've got that problem? Okay, what needs to happen to resolve that? You miss out. The first part there was because this is a training environment, and this was to demonstrate to you how the brain can move very quickly from problems to solutions. When you're working with someone, you just say, what's that situation and what needs to happen? Okay, so let's just stop sharing just now on that. And I've got, let me see how many people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm putting 5 breakout rooms together. It's 52. Come back at 53, 63. Come back in 10 minutes. We're going to do this for 10 minutes. And what you're going to do is you're just going to share. Let me see, Annette. If you can stay out, Annette, just now, you and I also pop into the rooms. Just practice this. So someone just says, I've got a problem. You don't have to you don't have to tell people what the problem is. I've got a problem, and really go into a problem state. And the other person then goes, okay, what needs to happen to resolve that situation? And then just notice what starts to happen with the way. And if you've got a real problem, use this, please. There's something, every one of us have got problems that we can work on. Okay, so that's all the rooms open, and we'll bring you back in 10 minutes. Okay, and we'll get a little bit of feedback when you come back. Okay, welcome back. Welcome. So very quickly, because we've got about another, I can never do my arithmetic in this. Never mind, we've got a few minutes. We've got about 12 minutes. So let's get 1 or 2 people feedback. What did you get from that? Who wants to come onto their microphone? Who wants to give us some feedback? Yes, thank you, Carolyn. Yeah.
Okay, I found the way we express our word has a neuroscience influence to the way other person react and even to ourselves.
Yes. So what we're working, you're using words to really move behavior with the way someone's thinking. And what this technique is for, where I have really honed this technique down, and thank you, I've had some nice questions in the breakout rooms. I used to use this therapeutically for many years, but I do most of my work now in business. Those of you who know me, most of everything's to business. When we do this with new managers, new supervisors, new team leaders get swamped with people going, I've got a problem, and they're so desperate to help that they're spending all their time helping other people solve that problem. And when they're helping other people solve that problem, it's taking away from them. It's actually stopping them getting on with their work. So one of the things, when we did this, we did the first part when we asked you to say 3 things, then we asked you to come up with 5 things. That was for the learning part of this. But when I'm teaching managers to do this, we're only wanting we're wanting 2 or 3. So what has to happen? You're looking for 2, maybe 3 things. Because you're wanting to make this a very quick way for someone to go, oh, I could do this, oh, I could do that, oh, I could do. Okay, so what one do you want to choose? What do you think is the best option? Okay, off you go and let me know how you get on. And the let me know how you get on is an extra part in that you don't want to go and check up on them. You're encouraging them to come back to you if they're stuck or if something's still going on. So it's conversationally getting buy-in. Now, what starts to happen, and this has happened with 3 organizations, it's happened in many individual cases, but I know 3 organizations where I've done complete leadership development programs with these organizations through all the different levels. What starts to happen is, once people get used to this, becomes the way of dealing with problems. Someone will start saying, so what needs to happen or what has to happen? And then people start going to managers saying, I had a problem. Now, I'm not quite sure whether I should do this or that. So they've actually thought about it. They've come up with 2 possible solutions, and they're just coming to their manager for final approval on what's the right way, which is absolutely perfect. But what that means is most of the job has been done by the team member. The thinking has been done with the team member, because everyone who has a problem normally knows the solution to that problem. That's one of the, I know you're laughing, Karen, that's one of the presuppositions of NLP. We all have the resources within us. For someone to say they've got a problem, how do they know it's a problem? Because they know how it should be. So when you're taking that into, when you actually go with that, they already know how the problem is. People will tell you their problems and their solutions within the first few minutes of working with them. That's one of the things Richard Bandler taught me years ago, and it's so true when you really listen. Go away. Yeah. Thank you, Caroline, for that. Yeah.
You said that that people knowing what the solution is for the problem. If the problem is being caused by their head of department or by the company culture, how can an employee resolve it?
The only way they can resolve that, if it's outside, they've got to change the way they think.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be then my problem, or it wouldn't be then my issue. It is if it has been caused by the head of departments.
Yeah. Okay, a head of department has caused me a problem. Okay, can you change it? Can you change that? Can you change that? If you would say to someone, are you able to change that? No. Okay, so what needs to happen to help you think differently about it? But what we've got here is we've got our inside world and our outside world. Our inside world is everything. Is everyone okay? Because I'll probably go over a wee bit to time for this, but I think it's important to go. Our inside world is everything inside our skin, and the outside world is everything out there. Very often, Kubli, in business, there are problems or perceived problems that people have that are in the outside world that will never be, that they can't change it. You cannot change your target. You cannot change the company objectives. The only thing you can change is how you think about it. If something's in the outside world, you have to change your attitude or your angle of approach to that, or your perception about that. So then what I would do with that, but because we've worked very long, I've got a problem, what needs to happen in that situation? In the real world, you would find out what the problem is. Okay, so what needs to happen? We can't change that. What needs to happen to help you think differently about it? What needs to happen to help you to be able to work with that?
Okay, what about then if I change and have a different approach, but the people around me are not playing their part?
Okay, you can only change yourself. It depends whether you lead the people or whether you're part of a team. You've always got to look at areas of authority. Is it your responsibility to change the way other people in your team think? If you're the manager, yes, it is. It's to get buy-in from people. If you're not the manager, it's not your job. As a colleague, you can lead by example.
But that's what I mean. If then my manager or my head expect this one from me, something which he should have sought out, because that's happened also a lot.
Of course it does. I've been working in corporate for sometimes, okay, I'm going to say something controversial here because it's happened to me, it's happened to a lot of people. Sometimes you're just in a job that's not right. Nothing's going to change. It's time to move. It's time to set up your own business.
I have done it.
Okay. So thank you, and thank you for that, for challenging me in that way, because we can't always solve all the problems. That's impossible. And very often people reach a level in their career where it's time for them to do something else. I did it, and I know quite a lot of people here have done that. Yeah. Okay, I'll be sending you an email. We offer you a 45-minute complimentary one-to-one session. Here you go. If you want to take advantage of that, that's for me to help you work in where you want to go. We look at what you want to achieve. You may want to find out more about the NLP Business Practitioner, and we actually have a Business Practitioner starting on the 14th of September. It's an online course. Or you may want to look at how I can help you with one-to-one coaching package. We have got, for people who are NLP trained, we have got the NLP Business Circle, and people who come to this lunch, we offer you membership to that for $45 a month. We meet twice a month for a 2-hour live masterclass, and all our members get access to all of the recordings, all the videos, all the audios, and all the workbooks from December 2020. And then we've got the Professional Growth Club. The Professional Growth Club is $9 a month. And the Professional Growth Club is my online club where I share all my corporate trainings. All members have access to the leader system. The leader system has listening to lead, emotional intelligence, achieving objectives for success, overcoming imposter syndrome, social styles, decoding social styles, and rapport and relationship. That's the 6 courses up there. You get a certificate for each course as you work through it. August course was the art of managing your time effectively. That's coming away tomorrow. And the course that every month as a course comes up for 1 month, the course that's coming up in September is the VAK communication skills. And on that platform, we do a live Q&A once a month as well. In 2 months' time, I'll be launching the platinum service of that, where people will get access to all the recording, but we'll do 1 live course a month. So it'll be 1 live business course that comes on. So there'll be some more information coming about that. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you for your participation. We're here every Wednesday. Forward to see you again. Spread the word, because it's always lovely to see new faces here. I know there's quite a few people who are new here today. And give yourself a big round of applause. And you can catch up on this. I'll send you the link, but all our lunch workshops are now on YouTube. Okay, so thank you very much, and see you next week.
Thank you.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. I'm here for a few minutes if anyone wants to chat.